2 years ago, I planted these gorgeous Eagleston Hollies for privacy, and I had no idea the video would take off like it did. I really wanted a space where I could relax and feel more at peace in my own home. Yes, I was trying to cover up a window, but more than that, I wanted a cozy space. But what I didn't expect was how much these trees would actually change the way I feel in this space. A viewer asked me for an update, and so here it is 2 years after planting. I'll share how they've grown, if I have any regrets, and what you should know if you are considering these privacy trees in your backyard. Before I show you the update, I'm going to do a little cleaning under the trees because we are nearing St. Patrick's Day in March and it is time to clean the winter mess. One of the reasons that I was interested in the Eaglestons in the first place is because I could have under plantings. And I'm so excited about having privacy above the fence, but also having interest underneath. And I have these white hydrangeas and variegated gingers that look beautiful in the summer. Now, each spring, they do have to be cleaned up, but I don't really mind it. I don't mind going out in nature and walking around, bending and getting fresh air, exercising a little, cleaning and spending time in the evolution of my garden. It actually helps me with my personal evolution, and I'm grateful for that. Spring is also a great time for me to lay down some cardboard. It helps me to control the weeds. Now, I do still get weeds, but it is easier for me to pull them since they are more surface level. And if you noticed, I'm pretty lucky because I'm able to get some pine needles from my own backyard, and I'm all about saving money wherever I can. It would be nice if I did have more privacy for myself or for future owners of the house. And so I've chosen these Eagleston Hollies. So we're gonna walk through this as I go out of my porch. Then I also see a loquat tree on the right that's growing beautifully. And then I've planted 4 hollies right here. These Eagleston hollies have grown beautifully over the past 2 years. They have provided great privacy and have been surprisingly easy to maintain. We'll talk about that more in a minute. But let's talk about the growth. In the previous video, I mentioned that the growth rate could be anywhere from 10 to 12 inches per year, and that there was a growth rate like first year is usually the sleeper, second year is the creeper, and the third year is the leaper. And that has definitely been true here. It's been a little over 2 years, and we're going into the third year this year. So this should be the leaper year, the year that has the most growth. I'm a tiny bit annoyed by this little gap right there that just doesn't seem to grow. So this year I'm going to prune them and see if that helps. But look at the change. Look 2 years ago and look at the comparison between that window and the trees and look at them now. They have definitely been creeping. Okay, that sounded a little funny, but anyway, these berries are so cool. My husband had been a little bit worried about these falling all over the ground, but that has not been true because right now these are full of berries, but the birds are about to return back home from their flight down south. They're coming back up for the spring and they're going to feast on the berries. And I'm going to have lots of birds chirping and it's going to be beautiful. Now, that's in the summer and this is now. It is just so beautiful. I love it. By the way, I live off the coast near Savannah, Georgia, and I am between zones 8B and 9A. It gets really hot for me in my area, but this year we had an anomaly year where it was cold. We got snow. Like it normally doesn't happen, but these trees did fine. They can handle down to negative 10 degrees Fahrenheit, and they can also handle the hot, humid heat of my area. So I love them because they can do both. Just as these trees have grown over the past 2 years, there's been great moments in my life and moments of transformation and growth. So now I do have a desire to connect more deeply with you, my viewer. And I want to offer programs that are more meaningful for our lives. So if that piques your interest, sign up for my newsletter at blisshomeandlife.com and we can keep in touch. And that way I can share those as they evolve. 2 years ago, I showed you the view from the porch to that window. Here's the holly and the loquat tree. And here it is today. That loquat tree has also grown quite a bit along with the hollies, and I really can't see that window, and that window can't see me. And I am going to give props to the loquat because it's also beautiful, evergreen, and given me privacy as well, plus fruit. I made a video about it. If you want to watch it, it's in the description. I've gotten so many questions about how I planted them and the overhang on the fence. So let's talk about that. I spaced my trees from center to center 6 feet apart. That is a great distance if you want them to kind of run together and create an actual kind of like wall, kind of a hedge. So that is how I decided to do this. And that is after I talked to a lot of landscapers. Even on Instagram, I was commenting and asking questions. And that's how I came up with my 6 feet apart decision. You could probably do 5 to 6 feet if you ever do something like this. The way you decide how to space something like this is by looking at the growth at maturity. These trees can grow up to 20 to 25 feet tall with a spread of 10 to 20 feet wide. And this is what got everybody riled up. I got tons of comments like this one, so let's go through it. If these Eagleston Hollies grow from about 15 feet wide, aren't your trees planted too close to your property line? At full growth, they will be hanging over the property line by quite a bit, I would think. Shouldn't these be planted around 7 feet from your fence? I want to plant these, but I have a narrow yard. Was concerned the canopy at full growth would shade my entire yard. This is truly an excellent question, and I got it so much that I thought I have to tell you. First of all, I went back and I was like, okay, how far did I plant them? I planted them 2.5 feet from the fence. So, yes, anybody looking at this would be like, whoa, that is too close. However, the intention was always to prune it. Every single year, we prune it twice a year. We may want to do it even more if we want to make sure that it's more dense and that we have better coverage. Last year, I made a spring tour video where I showed you after I had already pruned them, and this is what it looks like. These are in my property, right? They are easy to control. Over the last 2 years, I've just used regular loppers to clean, particularly underneath. When I get to clean these plants, the underplantings, I actually go ahead and clean the extra additional growth at the bottom just so that they look neat and tidy. And I'm able to do quite a bit. Well, I mean, I'm less than 5 feet tall, so I can only do so much. So my husband, who is a sweetheart, went out and got a tool.
Do like this for like, then you do it for like different edges.
Oh.
So you can put it to different sizes,
Okay.
you know?
So this will be good for both the viburnums and this.
Oh yeah, it's good for, it's a good tool.
Before I try the tool, I want to show you something. So I walked over to the side where my neighbor and I have the fence divider, right? So they have 2 windows. The top one, which seem to overlook right into my yard, which is why I wanted the privacy. The other one is a bathroom, the one down at the bottom. They don't want us looking in there anyway, so they don't mind this. And if you notice, they have sun. My trees are not blocking their sun at any point during the day, so it's not affecting them. And if you can see, I haven't trimmed yet. There's overhang, but it really doesn't affect anyone. So that's not an issue to begin with. But you definitely need to consider whether you want to plant these and keep up with maintaining and pruning and all of that. That is up to you. And also, it'll help you decide how far from the fence you want to plant these based on how you know they will grow. I got to thinking about why these are all so awesome. The trunk of the tree never really gets that big. And so you never have to worry about having a wide trunk or the roots. The roots are not invasive. And so I never have an issue with my neighbors if they want to plant something on the other side of the fence. So someone asked that, in the comments, but no, you do not need to be worried about them. That's why these are amazing privacy trees.
This is heavy, but okay. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think I got it. It's heavy. Okay.
It's hard to get everything.
Okay,
The light is like really
Okay, let me see if I can get that one.
crazy.
All right, ready?
The light is crazy.
I can't reach.
Why are you doing this right now?
Are you still recording?
Like I said, I'm really petite, and I think this is something I'm going to let my husband do because that pole is taller than me and it's heavy for me.
Well, I'm not very good at this. It's supposed to be easy for the guys.
Yep, definitely going to let the husband do this one, honey. Thank you for buying this. It's for you. I love it. This is as far as I got, but you get the point. The husband can do it. Again, there will be growth each year, and each year you get to have this fun. But it can look pretty awesome. And like I said, the only part I'm annoyed by is that at the top it's not as dense as I would like yet. And I'm going to get up on a ladder with my husband around and see if I can figure out how to make this spot a little bit more filled up this year. Let's see how good that gets. And maybe at the top, we could also trim it some more so that it starts getting more even. I don't know. We'll see. These are the sweet viburnums I was talking about that we could use with that tool because we also like this nice hedge, and we do like to keep it slim as possible because it is also between the other neighbor. And I'm going to let my husband do it. Not that I can't. Like, if I really want to, I can do it, but I just think, nah. This is actually a baby autumn tree that will grow over the years. This autumn cherry tree is growing amazingly awesome. I love it. You see how there's a gap right here between the Eaglestons and the autumn cherry tree? I'm actually trying to figure out what I'm going to design in that space, and I'm very excited about it. That's going to be this year. Don't mind my silliness. I found these live photos on my phone, and they happen to be right in front of the Eagleston Hollies. I love how they look. I love how they make me feel. That's what it's all about. It's about creating a blissful home, a blissful backyard, and a blissful life.